What the business is, YouTube? This Clarence over here at Pursuit of Freedom. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's Tuesday, the 15th of December. He's approaching Christmas. I got to get this Christmas money up, man. I got to get this Christmas money up, man. Being that I'm in a truck, I don't plan on buying gifts. But to me, the best gift always is. Y'all know what it always is. But hey, so I'm in a trade today up here in daggum I don't know how to quite to say it. Sucks Falls, South Dakota, Sea Oaks. You know, it's spelled a little weird like that French on it, So Falls. But I'm in Sucks Falls, is how I'm gonna say it. South Dakota States in the US. Man, South Dakota States in the US. That's the name of the state I'm in. South Dakota States in the US. And I'm finna head north to North Dakota States in the US. I met a shipper, you know what I'm saying? No, actually I met a receiver. Getting unloaded. I finally have a chance to get in front of the market. So I gets in front of it. I jump in the stock, grab me some shares, get out with a gain. Let's take a look at the Chizard, right? So I simply, you know, I'm paying $107 for this here. I need to upgrade it and go ahead and add the news reel to this thing. I need to add the news to it. Sometimes Yahoo ain't the best of what I've seen. Sometimes E-Trade ain't the best. So I mean, another news source won't hurt. But this cheap trading over here, this is cheap trading over her. You heard me. So I got my entry circled. You know, I'm in between the 9 and the 13 on this entry right here. I'm in between it on this entry. I first catch the stock probably at this minute right here at 9:59 because I had to be where I'm at right now. This is Central Standard Time over here, up here in South Dakota. So I had to be here at 9. So that would have been by 10 o'clock Eastern Time. But I got here a little bit before I was supposed to be here. And I'm looking at this stock as it's punching. I didn't see it at 427. But this second candle after it recrosses the VWAP is where I'm catching it. Now, using this here handy dandy TC2000 software, I ain't got to do a lot of work. I have 0 scanners. I don't pay for scanners. You know what I'm saying? I'm paying for this software, so I want this software to do that work for me. And right out the gates, I don't have to look far. The first stock up here is ANCN. So I look at it and I see this massive candle forming up in this thing early in the morning. I see that the stock has been downtrending. I would tell you the name of this here pattern according to the coursework that I bought out of Cameron Foos for trading. But I don't even know if I want to call it that because it's so low. So this thing might have some news helping it, which I didn't read. I seen the candle. I looked at the chart. I waited for a few minutes because I'm first looking at the chart right here at 9:59 Eastern Standard Time. I see it play with this here 470 area, which is where I ended up getting in. It pulled back some, and then it spiked big all the way up to 509, went sideways, pulled all the way to the VWAP. Now, after it touched the VWAP, that's about the only time I'm thinking about getting in. There's about the only time I feel like, okay, I can get an entry. And the VWAP would have been the better price to buy in at because that'll put me in at 439. And I could have really had a whole dollar a share there at 439. TC2000 got my float at 37.1. You can see the volume on the day up here at 51 million shares. The stock is up 177% at 427. This damn stock, because I see the pre-market high up here, and that's one thing I was eyeballing up here at 560. I didn't know whether or not that was gonna hold. So my plan already was to get out before that resistance level was touched. That was my plan anyway, to get out before the resistance level was touched. The lower day is down here at 357. I wasn't going to wait that long before I tried to get out. As a matter of fact, being that I based my entry on the VWAP or the 13 EMA or the 9 EMA, those was going to be my exits because the market has been looking a little weak to me. I mean, you could still get in some good trades in some of these here stocks, but the strength of the market hasn't, I don't know, it's been fading a little bit, right? But anyway, after it touched the VWAP over here, that very next candle is forming up green. It punched quickly. I was trying to get in originally down here at 450. That's the first order I put in. I had to cancel it. Let me see something. I don't want to reveal all the account info, but man, but they had to do some executing to get me in this here order. They executed me small sizes at a time. You know what I'm saying? To get that 2,000 shares. Nah, I ain't gonna do that. I ain't trying to, yeah. I ain't trying to have too much info out there. But yeah, so I'm in at the top of this candle and it immediately punched back beneath my short-term moving averages. But in that candle where it dipped beneath the 13 EMA, the 9 EMA right here, it got bought back up and I got, oh, that's that though. And it got bought back up right to about the 13. So I figure, okay, we might grind the 13 for a little bit. I started looking back over here at this high of 510 and saying that may be an early exit. Look, I drive a truck. So I'm not in front of these stocks at the market open. You know what I'm saying? Oftentimes I don't have all day. So my strategy has to be a little different. And it's mandatory for me to feel like I got to get in and I got to get out. So I don't be looking to be in these things long. You know what I'm saying? I seen we were approaching the pre-market high. Like I say, I don't believe in breaks no more. Why? This is another example, like in the last trade that I did. I'm not eyeballing a breakout. I'd rather get in on one of these little short dips and sell as it returns to the high that was set before the dip. And this one happened to, it had strength down here. Another thing I want to point out too, man, what solidified me getting in was the volume at the open was a tad bit low. Looking at this is dollar volume. This isn't share volume, but this is the amount of money going in and out of the stock around the market open. Right as I'm catching it at about 10 o'clock, we started having increase, and we got a higher average increase. This blue line here is the average, and it's starting to go up right as I'm watching the stock. Now I'm getting in the stock as the volume is coming down some, but we just had a bunch of volume, much bigger than what was coming in at the open, and it stayed that way up until now. It's going back down to this low volume, but watching this volume increase made me feel like, okay, I can grab me a good amount of shares. And then if I get some buying volume, it may return to this pre-market high, or it may just return to the high that it just set. I don't know what the stock's going to do on any given day. I never act like I know what it's going to do, but I take advantage of what it is doing. I see a low set down here at 352. And that bad boy just getting to the upside. You know what I'm saying? This is what I used to do when I first started, drawing these trend lines. So the trend from this here low at about 939 was just kind of marching up and sideways. Up and sideways. It climbed back above the volume weighted average price I got over there in yellow, the VWAP. That's telling me the chart is bullish. At this point over here at about 1031, the chart is now bearish, and I zoom out to see what it's doing. At 1031, the chart went bearish. Now look at that, look at the activity. But as long as it's on this here trend and we got volume, I feel like I can get in and ride this trend. You know what I'm saying? And that's just to give you a little bit of feedback, a little bit of behind the strategy. I don't always break down a thorough risk reward, but the only thing I'm really wanting to risk is the VWAP. You know what I'm saying? And that's 440, but I had 2,000 shares. I'm in at 470. You know what I'm saying? That's $500 to make $1,000. That's 1 to 2 risk reward. You know what I'm saying? My risk is 2. And my risk is 1. My reward was 2. But I I probably would have got out before the VWAP because that's extremely low. I mean, I wouldn't have waited for the stock to come all the way back down here because this is definitely iffy. I don't even know if there's news. I kind of want to see if there was some news or something. I'm not going to use E-Trade to do that. You see, I got straight stock market in my top. I got the wait on Yahoo because whenever I just click, it'll send me to something else. So sometimes you can read the news afterwards. I don't even know what that is. Anciano Therapeutics, Chemo Mab, a merger agreement. So it was some sort of merger. Uh, I don't even care enough to click on the button because I'm more of just raw price action. You got to obey price action. Some people do not like using exponential moving averages. I threw them on my charts years ago and started watching how the raw price action interacts with these charts. Now, if I'm just looking at that, you know what I'm saying? Some people are going to tell you to just look at candlesticks. Candlesticks tell a good story too. But to me, it looks like the price action is sitting on the 13 EMA. I mean, it just took a seat. It got tired over here, this pushing higher. You know what I'm saying? Stressed it out a little bit. And it came down and took a seat right around the 9 and the 13 exponential moving average. Got above the 9 and it's using the 9. Stock price punched down directly to that moving average. That could be an entry right there. Did the same thing right here. Had a wick punch to that and it got back up. This invisible trend line that I drew in looks like the stock came down and touched that trend line and got back up. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, and when it gets beneath this, that's the beginning of the warning sign that, okay, the strength might be done. Weakness may be taking over. A few minutes later, it crashes beneath those short-term moving averages. A few minutes after that, it's crashing beneath the volume-weighted average price. So, I mean, they not absolute. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to use these indicators and they're going to be perfect. But, I mean, another thing, too, to point out the gates, this purple line I got up here is the 50 exponential moving average. The stock's price seemed to fall to about that area and hold on to that area for dear life until it began to move back up. So, I mean, you look at enough of these here charts and you watch how the prices interacts with moving averages. Hey, it is what it is. I don't know. It might be a market maker that's dipping the price down to these areas. Like this one right here is kind of hugging the 100 exponential moving average. I don't know what to tell you, but what I'm gonna tell you is that they're gonna stay on my charts. Yeah, my charts look like spaghetti, but I don't mind. I'm following the spaghetti. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna follow the spaghetti. It is what it is. You do what it is that you do. I'm 14 minutes in. This has been a quick trade, a little bit of analysis, big spiker, number one stock, didn't even look at anything else. I looked at that stock and I said, hey, I might just wait for an entry here based on volume, moving averages, and a trend. Because if I can put a line on the chart at any time and have multiple connections with a line. That might say we got a trend form here. And I'm gonna follow the trend, ride the trend till the trend ends. Hey, this here's Pursuit of Freedom. Y'all know what's more coming. You know what it is.